Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Bree from With Love Bree, and today I am going to do another tutorial on how to put together a Scrap Diva Designs pop-up card. I will make sure to have the name of the die down below. It is called pop-up card, so it's pretty easy to find, but I'll make sure to have it down there for you guys. I also will have an affiliate link if you guys would like to use the link. It's free to use, however I do earn a small commission from that link. So I am going to be using a couple dies from her shop, and this one here is one of them. The other one is going to be, of course, the Candy Cane Alpha, and I share this in a process video, which I will have linked down below as well. I have a couple of videos actually using this. I just love it so much. And I'm going to try and create another Christmas card. I had a lot of you say that you guys were excited to see that I had Christmas put out, so I'm going to do another one. And I'm going to be using the same collection as the other cards that I made from the last video, and that's the Sprinkled with Cheer from Rosie's Studio. I did use the 6x6 paper pad again, just because the scale of the patterns are the perfect size for the card. I do have some of the 12x12 as well, which I've shared in a haul video, but I did pull that. And then I already die cut the letters for my card today, and I used this mint green color and gold cardstock, and I just layered it onto some foam, the gold part actually. And before I just glued the layering piece onto the cardstock, but this time I did use foam, and I cut a bunch of little strips out just so that way there is a little bit of dimension. It didn't take too long, so I was glad about, actually happy about that. So I have those set to the side for now. I did cut some pieces of acetate because I want to do a couple of things with that, and this is something that I created, and you guys, I wanted to do a tutorial on this, but right now my measurements are not the best. It worked, but it didn't work perfectly, and I'm not one to put something out there that doesn't work perfectly, because I don't want you guys to be making something and it just doesn't turn out right. So I did make one of these, and it's a little organizer. I was thinking I can put like things inside of here. You can either organize something or you can gift stuff, so I was thinking of putting embellishments and stuff that I make inside of here. So you know, you could put stuff inside and just store them there, or you know, have stuff on your desk and that you want to organize and put them in here. But I did use the acetate to make my butterflies kind of fly around on here. Anytime I make pop-up cards, I kind of like to use the acetate to try to make them like hang and look like they're just kind of floating there. So I guess not hang, but yeah, floating there. So I did that for 3 of the butterflies, and once this is all done, I'll definitely have a project share of it, but this is kind of just what I created with that. Since I'm not doing a tutorial on this, I'm definitely going to be just doing the card, just so you guys can see. And for this one here, I'm going to add a little flip to it, so that way I can write a little message. It doesn't come with it on here, but I'm going to share with you guys how I'm going to do that. So enough talking. I'm going to go ahead and just share what I die cut off camera. So this die comes with some extras, and if you guys have seen my unboxing, you guys probably, or maybe not, have remembered. There's a paintbrush, a wrench, a little paint roller, a drill, and a hammer that comes with the die as well. You also get some hearts in here, little chunky stitched hearts, which I did not use. I was going to, but I didn't use it today. I just use the main base. So for the main part, you have this right here, and this has the laced edge, and I die cut that twice because I am going to be, again, like I said, creating a little flip part. So I die cut it twice, and that's in this pink color. And then you get a layering piece that goes right on top, and it's stitched, and it looks like this. And for this, I used pattern paper and a piece of white cardstock as well. So I have these patterns that I chose. I had to do the peppermint stripe, and then I did this poinsettia pattern, and then a piece of white cardstock for my message. And then there's this piece right here which creates the, let me just share this one right here. It has this little piece right here that you can glue elements on and kind of make it look pop like a pop-up card or layered. So I did die cut that out of the same pink. You can do a different color if you want. Just know that it will show through this part, which is the envelope part that goes on top. So this right here, that's the top layer, and then behind it you could see some of the green. So for me to kind of hide that, I used butterflies. For today, I did die cut this pattern paper right here to go onto here, so that way when this goes on top, that shows through. And the size that I chose for this, I did 1/8 of an inch off of each little end, so it leaves you with the 1/16 inch border. I went ahead and I cut mine down to 3 7/8 by 2.5 inches. So you can use that measurement if you would like. It just layers perfectly on there. I don't know if you guys can see the small border, but that's what I used for that. So that's for that part. And then I did use that same confetti paper that I used on my cards previously, and that's going to go on to the front here. And I did label the left and the right side because I know I will forget, so I just did it just in case. And these are the cards that I made last time using the candy cane alpha die, and that's how they turned out. So if you guys would like to see this, I will have it linked down below for you guys for your convenience. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and put these here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is on one of the pieces that have the hinges here, the lacy piece, I am going to fold along the lines and use my bone folder to make sure that they are nice and crisp. I've already done this off camera because I wasn't sure if I was going to record this, but I thought, why not? So that's for that part right there. Now for behind it, like I said earlier, I want to have a little card. So on the back, I'm going to have a little flap that opens up, and it's going to have a little card piece, or like a white piece of cardstock, so that way you can write a message. I don't want to say a card since this is an actual pop-up card, so it's just an extra layer that you can make. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to cut off these side pieces because you're not going to need that. So I am going to just use a paper trimmer and I'm just going to knock it off with my trimmer. Just going to line this up. And the thing that I love about the Fiskars is that there's this wire little track that you can line up with the embossed line and you can cut it out. Not every paper trimmer is like that, so you know, it just depends. I didn't line that up very nicely. So it's kind of crooked, but you can even use your scissors and just go up against the edge. I think I might have cut mine a little bit crooked, but it's okay. So I'm going to do the same thing down here. Just want to line up the bottom edge and trim this out. Okay. So there is that piece. That's what it's going to look like. And then what I'm going to do is take my, you can use the paper trimmer or a scoreboard if you have one, and I'm just going to line this up right here. And I'm just going to put my layering piece that I'm going to have on the inside. And I'm just going to score where this white starts, because I don't want to have to fold the white part. And this is just enough, so I'm just going to do it like that. And that's going to get glued down card. So let me show you guys what I did. So I put my layering piece onto here, which is just white cardstock, and then I went ahead and I brought this to my scoring tool, and right where this part ends, I just scored right above it, so that way this doesn't have to bend over or like fall. I mean, this doesn't have to flap over and get all messed up, and this part is going to get glued to the pop-up card. So I am going to stamp this one. I did actually buy the coordinating stamp from the Sprinkled with Cheer collection, so I am going to use one of these sentiments. Since I'm using Jolly, let's put... I mean, there's one that says just be jolly, but I think that's too many. I guess we could do May Your Holidays Be Sprinkled with Cheer, since I did use a sprinkle paper for the front. So let me quickly just stamp this. And this is just going to get stamped right in the middle. Okay, I don't know where it stopped recording, but sorry guys, I've been having a lot going on. Having a couple health scares on myself, so just gotta wait for my doctor's appointment. I don't know. Anyway, don't want to talk about it. Crafting to keep my mind off of it. So anyway, yeah, I don't know where this stopped recording, but I am going to use my scrapbook.com sticky mat on here, and I'm just going to line this up on one of the lines, and I'm going to stamp this. Let me just make sure it's where I want it. I might have to shift this a little bit. I have no idea what happened. I really thought it was recording. It's a good thing it didn't though, because honestly I messed up stamping. So anyway, okay, this will do. Let me go ahead and ink this up. So I'm just using Concord and 9th Ballet Slipper, which is a really pretty pink, and I'm just going to stamp that down. And hopefully, since I used this stamp 4 times total, it stamps nicely the first time. Let me just do it one more time. Just want to make sure it's a little bit darker. Okay, perfect, much better. All right. Okay guys, so believe it or not, I had to do all of that over again. I had to re-die cut this, I had to cut off the edges, stamp this, die cut this, because I glued it on the wrong side. So I cut all that out, but this piece right here is going to get glued onto the back of the part where your little pop-up is going to be. So where the hinges are going forward, you're going to turn it over, and you're going to have this get glued to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and use my ATG gun once again and adhere this. But yeah guys, so I was saying this as I was gluing this down, that I just made a doctor's appointment because I'm having a couple of health scares for myself, and normally I don't freak out or whatever, but like for this I am. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it could be pretty bad. So I'm just trying to stay positive and my mind busy, and the best way to do that is to craft. So that's what I'm doing. And I realize I'm missing something from here, but it's okay. But try not to think about it too much, because I do get bad anxiety doing all that, and I just can't. Okay. So here is this. And that's what it's going to look like. And this is going to get glued onto here. But I'm going to do this afterward, just so that way everything is on here and whatnot. Or I guess I could do it now. So I'm just going to use liquid glue because it is going to be right on the edge of the card. And what I'm going to do is add glue to the part that we folded over. And just make sure I get a good amount. Not too much to where it's going to seep the other way, and glue onto the white cardstock. But all I'm going to do is just go like this and make sure that they're lined up, and just adhere it down. And use my bone folder. Okay, I'm just going to fold it up. Just make sure that's on there. Okay. Just like so. So now you have a part, or like a place to put a message on here. It's a little flimsy, nothing too crazy, but someone can, you know, go and flip it and read the message. So now I'm going to take this poinsettia paper and glue that to the back. I was having a hard time on figuring out which one I wanted to use, but I really wanted this to show the whole pattern, so that's why I'm going with this one on the back. So I'm just going to adhere this one down, and this paper is pretty thin. I don't really need too much adhesive, but y'all know me. I just need to have a lot of adhesive on here. So now I'm going to line this up. Okay. So there is, ooh, the back of the card. How pretty is that pattern paper? So cute. And then has the little sentiment in there. Now for this part right here, I'm going to start gluing all these layers down. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this piece and just put some adhesive and glue it to the other side of the pop-up card. It's going to get glued here. And this piece right here, I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down too. I like using double-sided tape when the paper is not like really thick, because sometimes I feel like you're going to see the adhesive through the paper, so I usually just use ATG or some kind of double-sided tape. Alright. And as I'm working on this piece, I'm going to go ahead and just fold my hinges back. And that's going to get glued onto there like this. And then I have this right here. So to get this lined up, because I messed up last time, I'm going to start with the middle piece and just make sure the top and the bottom are even. And you just want to match up these two corners at the top right here to this piece right here. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm going to line up these edges with these corners here and just make sure the top border is lining up, or like even with this bottom border. And that's just how I figured out how I can get this to line up. But I've said this before, everybody has their own way, so it doesn't work for everyone. So there's that one. Now this one is the left side. I did mark them, like I said before. And I just line up this side right here, just make sure they're all even. Like so. Down to this piece. So just like that, and it's lined up perfectly. So best way to do this is to start with the middle, I feel. Just for me, it just works better that way. Okay, and then now to get this put together. So what I do is it's easiest if you start with this, or else you're going to be having to like work with it going in between two layers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one side of the panel here. And what I do is I just line this up against the score line. Just make sure your top and bottom is also lined up. There we go. Just want to get it lined up as best as you can. So there's that, and then I'm just going to go ahead and again use my bone folder to make sure it's on there nicely. Okay, and the fun thing about cards, things like this is, so you just open up this side right here, the little hinge here. You're going to open that up, add your glue. And all you do is you fold this flap over, and that'll line it up. Just make sure it's straight at the bottom. And just make sure you use your bone folder. And there we go. So now it just opens up and you can see the little space in between when you put it up, and it's lined up. Just so you guys can see a little bit closer. So it's flat, and then you just open it up once it's glued. Okay, and then the next thing is to adhere the top layer. So I usually just add my glue to both. I like liquid glue because it gives you time to move it around. You could do double-sided adhesive and then just add a little bit of liquid glue, and that kind of adds even more stability to your project. I'm going to go ahead and line this up. And then just make sure it's on there good. Just press down on it and then line this one up. And then again, you could just hold it down like this. Just use your bone folder. Okay. This part I did miss a little bit of the corner just because your ATG doesn't have a sharp end to it, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to keep that down. Alright, and there we go. That's the pop-up card. You can even do all your designing before you place this top part on, but I don't know, I just like being able to see this and then do all my designing after the fact, but definitely do it beforehand if you prefer. But I'm gonna go ahead and just get to the embellishing. But here's the main base if you guys don't want to watch all the embellishing. And that's how that looks. And when you put it into an envelope, it just lays flat like this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, so I have pulled out the coordinating puffy stickers. There's 2 or 3, right here, 3. I got the words and the 2 different images. And I even have the Sprinkle of a Cheer die cut cardstock ephemera pack and the sentiments pack. So I am going to flip through those, and then I also have my Jolly. So I did, like I said before, I have some acetate that I cut into little strips, and I'm just using scraps. I used my paper trimmer to cut it, but I'm just going to use my scissors because I lost one. And I'm going to have this scrap piece of acetate available in case I want to, you know, do it to any other piece. So let me go ahead and just flip through the ephemera and figure out what pieces I'm going to use. There is a lot in here. If you guys have seen my haul video, I flipped through it, so there is quite a bit in here. I might just figure out what I want to use on here and then show you guys me putting it together. But there are some really cute pieces on here, you guys. So you can decorate the background, you can decorate this piece, and you can even decorate the outside. So that's what I love about pop-up cards or interactive cards, is you can do so much with them. It's like you can go with a Christmas tree theme. And then have presents. And I love this because there's even little rainbows to just make it look a little different. And then I just need to remember that I have this Jolly, which I'm going to have hanging over here. So I might have something like this going there. So I'm just going to flip through this, see what I want to do. I think I am going to add my Jolly first though, because I'm going to keep these because I might use those. I just want to see, once it's glued on here, what pieces can go on top. So I am going to be using these acetate pieces, and what I'm going to do is with these acetate pieces, you can kind of see the glare on there. These are about a quarter, maybe a little less inch thick. I don't go anything thicker unless I really need it. And I am going to use hot glue. Normally I just use liquid glue, but I don't have the patience today. So I'm going to use hot glue, and I'm just going to glue them to my letters. And just be careful because it does get hot. I don't mind the back, you being able to see the adhesive because it's going to be covered up anyway. And I am going to shorten the strips a little bit because since it was a like a scrap piece. You know, for this O, it has like, I just feel like it would hold better if I have the acetate all the way through up to the top. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to try to hide something, or like hide the acetate in the middle with a piece of ephemera. And I don't know what exactly I'm going to use. Maybe even just a little candy piece. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to add some hot glue to the top first. Lift this up and add it to the bottom. So I got that one. And I'm just going to do this to all of my letters. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just shorten these out, or shorten these up, I guess I should say. Just so that way they're not peeking through the bottom of the envelope. Okay, so this is basically what they look like from the back, but again, you're not going to see them. So it's nothing too crazy, but that's how that's going to look there. And I'm just going to place these where I want them, and I use liquid glue to glue the acetate down. So I'm just going to place these where I want them. And I just add glue to like the bottom half. I don't know if you guys can see like this adhesive here. Come on, there you go. Okay, it doesn't want to show, but I have glue on there, and I'm just going to slide this down to where I want it. And I'm just going to use my finger and press it down from the inside. And I'm just going to do that to all of these letters. I'm going to use my bone folder to kind of help me. Okay, so now I got the Y down. Okay, and this is what it looks like. How cute is this? So glad that the word jolly fit. I wonder if it's too late to move this down. Let me see. I feel like the Y is a little high. It's a little too high up, just so it matches up with the J a little bit. But there it is. How cute. And it does do the little jiggly thing that I wanted it to do. And it does lay flat still. And when you pop it up. So there is the jolly. And then again, I'm just going to flip through here and see what I can use to kind of hide the acetate pieces. So I'm going to add a little bit of foam onto this piece right here because I want to add it onto this. So I'm going to use the same foam that I used on the letters, which I know I had a little scrap piece. And I'm going to add that onto this here. And I am going to add a little bit of hot glue to this since it's going to get glued onto the acetate. And I'm just going to adhere that down. Cute. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Alright, so let's see. OMG, how adorable would that be? Well, you can add some foam to some of these pieces. It'll just make it a little bit more of a dimensional card. So I'm just gonna flip through this and see what I can find. I won't have you guys watch me do all of that, but I definitely will share with you guys what it looks like. Or me putting it together, I guess, so you guys can kind of see that, but I wish this was longer. But let me just choose a couple of pieces and then we'll put this together. Okay, so I kind of have a layout here of what I'm going to do. So I just want to show you guys kind of how I'm going to put it together. So I am going to add this tree that I originally wanted to add, and I'm just going to use some liquid glue. Again, you could do this all beforehand, but me, I don't know why, but sometimes I just like to do things like this. Okay, so I'm just going to have this go at an angle. And then I'm just going to use my bone folder and just put it down there. And then for here, I'm going to go ahead and glue this part down. And I am going to pop this one up using some foam. I'm going to use this large foam, which I will link down below for you guys. Just because it's thinner than any other foam that I have right now. And at least it won't add too much bulk. So, have it go down right there. And then he's going to get popped up twice since it's going to go right above the present. So I'm just going to do 2 pieces of foam. Okay. And then the star, I'm going to glue right here using liquid glue. And you don't have to do all of these layers. I like to have a lot of layers, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to have this one go on flat. Just here in the corner to bring, again, there's peppermint, so I'm going to try to bring in different sizes. And then this Dear Santa I'm going to put on foam. And I am going to have a little happy holiday sentiment go on there, and how cute is this little letter, since that's on a, this is like an envelope pop-up card. Oop. And then again, there's stars, so there's 3 different stars. And I wanted to do the trees here to block the acetate there, so I am going to put foam on this one. And I've said this before on my cards, I don't really like to use hot glue unless it's like chipboard or something. So I'm just going to adhere it right down. So there, like that. And because these trees are floating out of nowhere, I'm going to add this piece, which doesn't go all the way across, but because it's going to go underneath this part, you can't really tell. So I'm just going to glue it down. And I'm just going to put this onto a very thin piece of foam. Again, this could be done beforehand. I know I keep saying that, but I just don't want you guys to struggle embellishing your envelope or your pop-up card and then it's because I'm doing it this way. Alright, so that should be good. And then I have this little happy holiday sentiment. And this one I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and pop this up too. So, alright, so that's going to get put onto there. I'm going to have it hang off just a little bit. Okay. Just like that, and on the back, do I want anything? There's a lot of pieces on here, so it's like even if I decorate the back, I wouldn't mind having just a little something. I think I could do this and then have a little, just handwrite the handmade piece on there instead of gluing something on there. And here is the inside, so when you open that up, I know I'm going crazy with this ephemera, but you guys, there's so much of it. I can literally just embellish the inside a little bit and still have plenty left over. I think it looks cute. Glue that to this, make sure it doesn't go all the way to the outside. Just to have a little something on the inside. Cute. And here is that part. And I think I am going to add a little bit more to this. I'm going to add some diamond dots and whatnot to these pieces and some glitter. So I'm going to do that off camera. As for these, I might actually, let me use, sorry guys. I think I want to use some of these snowflakes and scatter them around the background. Could do 3 of them. You guys know me in 3s. Okay, so I have some snowflakes on there. I think I'm going to add a little bow. Why not? Onto little Santa. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's cute. Look at this. So there are the snowflakes. And then the little bow. What else? Do I want anything else? Okay, definitely not the words. Probably not going to use those for this project. But I am going to add just a little bit more to this because you guys know me, I need to have a little bit more going on here. So I'm going to do that off camera and I'm going to share with you guys what it looks like once that's all done. Okay guys, so it's actually the next night and I did add some things to my card. So here it is, the finished card. As you guys can see on the Santa, I did add that puffy sticker, which you saw me do. I added some stickles using Stardust, which I'll have linked down below, and I also added some diamond dots. I always get asked where I get diamond dots from. I get them from everywhere, Amazon, Joann's. That's kind of like the only places that I get them, mainly Joann's. I used to get them at Hobby Lobby, but I did use these AB white diamond dots from Joann's, and I just use them on Santa's little buttons. I also use them in the middle of the peppermints. And then, of course, I went through my big container or organizer of diamond dots, and I just used it for this larger tree and for the present. For the smaller tree, I didn't want to use the diamond dots because, as you guys can tell, they're really thick. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but the little dots are raised. And what I did with that was I used some Nuvo drops. I'll have these linked down below for you guys, but these are the colors that I used. And they just worked perfectly. And if you guys have seen my hauls, you know I buy Nuvo drops like crazy. Well, I used to. I don't really anymore. But again, I'll have all these colors linked down below for you guys, in case you guys want to grab some. And it just gave it that, like, dimension that I wanted without having to use the diamond dots. And again, I did use this little pom-pom here, a little white one for the for Santa's hat. And then I used the Stardust, was that the one that I used? Yeah, Stardust stickles on the peppermints just to give them more glitter. And I think that's it that I added them. Oh, and I added diamond dots on the little snowflakes too, just so that the snowflakes weren't just matte and they had some kind of shimmer on them. But how cute is this? When it folds, it looks like this, and when you open it up, it just opens up like this, and it has the little letters, and this is what they look like. They do move around a little bit. And then on the back, You guys saw me put this fireplace here, and then I did add the red diamond dots on there. I didn't do all of them since the back I just did red, and then the inside I just glued the little banner. And then that's what the card looks like. I thought I would just go ahead and make a envelope too to put this in. This card measures 4.5 inches by 5 inches. So I'm going to make an envelope for that size. I am going to be using my all-in-one tool in case you guys have this. So this right here has this tool here, and there is a 4.5 by 5 inch card. That is going to be 7.5 inches. So you just take this out, and it's magnetized. And I'll have this tool link down below as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. This is actually some paper from the stamp market. So it doesn't match my card perfectly, but I thought I would use it just to add a little bit more color. And you can't really tell. They're just a little off. But I didn't feel like grabbing any other paper, and this was right there. So, okay, so I think I said 7.5 inches square. So do 7.5 inch square here. Okay. For this. So I'm going to line this up again. I'm going to open up this part right here, and I'm just going to line this up where it says 2, so 7.5 inches, and I'm going to do 3 5/8. So on this left hand side right here where the 3 inch to 4, I'm going to go 3 5/8 with one end here, and I'm just going to score that. I am going to use the tool that comes with this. And you're just going to go to the 2 inch mark and score down. And then there's a score guide. So what I'm going to do is there's a score guide right here. You're going to line this up with the score guide, the line that you just made, sorry. And you're going to line that up and score again at 2, and you're just going to do that all around. So just make sure when I glue it perfectly. And I did make sure I had gotten this also, because it does extend a little bit, as you guys can see this here, so it does fit. This depends on what size card you make, and also if you have any embellishments or anything sticking out of it. Alright, so here there's a part on the side when you have it closed, and it says envelope punch. So I'm just going to turn that over this way as I knock all my little Nuvo drops. And I'm just going to line up the triangle. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's this like little triangle piece, and you're going to line that up with this. It's a little hard to line up, but all you do is just make sure that the score lines are touching the little triangular part, and you're just going to punch it and do it to all 4. And I'm just going to fold these in. So it looks like a square envelope, but one side is a little bit bigger. So you just want to make sure when you glue it that your card, see, like this is too tall up here. So that means that it's this way. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it, because if I do it this way, it's just not going to line up nicely, and it's going to look really weird when you close it. So I'll do it this way. Alright. Okay, I'm just going to use my ATG. I know I have some tape here, or some liquid glue, but it should be fine. So I'm just going to add a little bit onto the ends here. Okay, close that up. Just use my little tool here to get rid of any other adhesive that I don't want. So there's the envelope. And like I said, I know this video is going to be a little bit longer. I'll try to make it as short as possible, but I do want to decorate this envelope just a little bit. So this is how it's going to go inside the envelope. Go ahead and decorate this really fast. So I have the ephemera here. We'll do a quick embellishing of the envelope so that way they can match. peppermints. There we go. Just that little bit of red. Already brought them together. So this is what the envelope looks like. And here's the card. And again, when you open it up like this, so it looks like this when it's closed. And you just open it up. How cute. And then the little letters jiggle a little bit because of the acetate and flat. And not too much dimension, as you guys can see. Pretty flat still, even if it's going to go in the envelope. Not too much dimension. Really cute, you guys. I love this die. I do recommend it. You can do so much with it. Like I said, oops, I did want to do this tutorial, but I need to get it down correctly, because at the bottom and everything it looks really nice and it looks like it works out, but I think because of all the layers and stuff, the measurements just start to get like really weird towards the end of making this. So I don't want to, you know, give you guys something that just doesn't turn out really nice. So this is just something that I made that I'm going to give away, and it might be the last time I make it. I don't know. But you'll definitely be seeing another project share of me sharing this once it's all done. But there it is, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's card. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them down below. If you guys do grab this die, let me know if you do, or if you plan on getting it. And if you guys would like to see another card using this die, I definitely want to try and make another one. So I could probably do another Christmas one, because I do want to try and make one as well. But there it is, you guys. If you guys like this card, let me know down below. I hope you guys have a great day, whatever day it is that y'all are watching this, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.